It's rare that the County Central Committee has the constitutional duty to replace an elected candidate to an office. However, in Washington County, it's happened 3 times in the last year.
When an elected official retires or resigns or dies, in the case of Dean Cox, our county commissioner, and to have 3 of them happen in 1 year is very unusual.
With over 200 delegates representing their constituents countywide, each one is allowed to cast a vote for the candidate they feel best suits the office. In this case, it's for a new sheriff.
County Central Committee is made up of precinct chairs and vice chairs, and then elected officials in Washington County are automatic delegates as well.
In this case, Nate Brooksby, who was already serving as undersheriff appointed by Sheriff Cory Pulsipher, was running against another long-term deputy, Jared Redfern. Both candidates have worked for the sheriff's office for more than 20 years. Members of the voting committee were allowed to meet the candidates in person prior to the vote.
Jared works in the jails and that part of the correction system, and Nate works more in the patrol and the investigative part of it, so they have different kinds of experience, but both of them are very well qualified candidates.
After announcing that a quorum was present, Sheriff Cory Pulsipher was given a standing ovation and recognized for his long-standing service to Washington County in law enforcement. Each candidate was then given 2 minutes to speak to the delegates.
But I've worn a lot of hats. I'm very passionate. I call myself the on-the-job training guy. I've said yes to everything that's come my way in my career, and my level of engagement at the office has been 100% for the last 25 years. I've never said no to anything. That has allowed me some great opportunities as a sergeant, a lieutenant, chief deputy, and recently undersheriff. That's pretty fresh, just about 6 weeks old now.
You're expecting a sheriff that will secure your God-given rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit to your happiness. Now I want to make it clear, this is not about who stands for me. This is about who stands for you. I have stood at your porches, on your doorsteps, and I will work hard and continue to stand for you as sheriff. Thank you.
Ballots were then filled out and dropped into boxes. Pulsipher was among those who was able to cast a ballot, as well as Brooksby, who is a voting member of the State Central Committee.
Yes, and State Central Committees do get a vote. So he does. I know that Jared has served as a delegate in the past. He's not currently one, but he has served the party as well.
The ballots were then taken to another room for a count. The results came back within about 20 minutes. Nate Brooksby was elected with a vote of 106 to 34, garnering more than 75% of the votes.
There's always that knot in your stomach until you see that, and actually just for a second there, the results flashed and I saw my name in red and I'm like, does that mean I lost? But then it came up and obviously it was a pretty good win. So.
Brooksby will now serve out the rest of Pulsipher's term and is expected to run for the office in 2022.
I do want to be connected with the community. I want people to reach out, call me on my cell phone, and I'll be happy to answer any questions, whether it's something in your... I deal a lot with the rural community, so I have good relationships with the mayors and city council of, Enterprise and New Harmony and Tokerville and Apple Valley. So they reach out on a regular basis because that's the area that we patrol.
The selection by the party for sheriff is still considered a nominee until Washington County Commissioners approve and accept his appointment next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday, pretty much an appointment is in order for Nate Brooksby to be the next sheriff.
Brooksby, who has already been wearing several hats since Pulsipher's announcement to retire in October, said he's looking forward to moving in as sheriff and filling positions of other retirements. And he's already selected a new undersheriff.
Barry Golding will be my undersheriff. So he's a retired captain from St. George Police Department and currently works as an investigator for the Washington County Attorney's Office.
Brooksby will officially be certified in his new position November 7th and will take over as Washington County's new sheriff after Pulsipher retires on December 16th.
You know, we've had a lot of work together. I look up to him in a father figure some way, but he's been a great law enforcement mentor throughout my career as well.
The sheriff's position is one of the highest paid in Washington County, with an annual salary around $166,000. In Washington County, Melissa Anderson, Community Education News.